Molweni bethunana ngenjikalanga igama lam nguVuyi and welcome to conversation namhlanje ethi The Church Wounded Me. Subtitle yakhona ethi How is it with my soul? Ngaphakathi kwethu ke we have all six will be interacting with us kule topic. Sinosisi uSiya Majavu, sibe nosisi Lona Qwaka, sibe noKamva Khini, sibe noBongi Mzobe, uSisi Yonela Nyembenya, sibe noGogo Mafelempini. Before we proceed with the conversation namhlanje ndizawucela uSister Linda Tola asivulele ngomthandazo.
May we please close our eyes and be ready for the prayer. Dear Lord, we come before you this evening. Abantwana bakho bezophalaza imbilini yabo, Thixo wethu oyingcwele. Sicela wena ke bawo ongumthetheleli okokuba ubakhusele kuzo zonke izinto ezinokuthi zijongise ngakubo, Thixo wethu olungileyo, ngentetho eziza kuwa namhlanje. Phefumlela ke Thixo yonke le nkqubo uyenze ibe nyulu. Siyakucela mesiyolungileyo ngegama loYesu Kristu Nkosi yethu. Amen.
Amen. Siyabulela kakhulu, Sister Linda Tola. Guys, before we proceed with a conversation namhlanje, sicela isicelo that sibe sensitive kakhulu there by the comment section section, sibe novelelwano kubantu abazaza ngaphambili and share their stories. A few weeks back, I shared my story with regards to bana why ndikhe ndisanqabile ecaweni, so to say. I experienced a lot of things and I expressed a lot la topic. And today we saw fit that how about that we have this conversation on this large platform whereby we've asked Abana Bambal to come forward and banqokole nathi on this topic. So sizawucela kakhulu bethuna that even if we do comment on the section Paku Facebook, that we don't drop amagama abantu so that kungazubakho ingxabano. This is not the aim for this topic, but we're hoping that by the end of this topic sizabe, if there is anyone who's outside there who's experiencing some of the things that we might have experienced or is experiencing more in terms of they might find strength or might find courage from today's topic. So sacala kakhulu bethuna that bana sibe sensitive siwajonga namazwi sawaphose ebantwini. Like I said, namhlanje sicele wabana bangosisi abayi-6 to come and have this conversation with us. Undoqala ke ozawuthetha nathi and share her experience nguSister Siya Majavu. Hi Siya.
Hi Vuvu, and hi everybody who's listening. Ndibulisa nonke ngegama likaYesu Kristu waseNazaretha. Amen.
Amen. Kunjani kodwa?
I'm fine, thanks. Kunjani kuwe?
Okay, so I will give the platform kuwe so that unqokole nathi with regards to topic yethu namhlanje. So you may take indawo yakho.
Thank you so much. Ndiqale ke ndizibulisele sendintroducele uVuvu watsho uba ndinguSister Siya Majavu. I was part of a movement many years ago. I don't want to say I was not happy or anything, because in anything we join now, there are good moments and there are bad moments, but it's just so unfortunate that it's the bad moments that stick with anyone. In fact, it's always the bad moments that highlight into kanye, like into njan. So with regards to this topic, I joined the Wesley Guild, I think 2013, yes, 2013. Ndijoinela pha kula society yase Amalinda. Fika again, I joined again, and it was actually nice. I was welcomed nicely. I found a group of brothers and sisters. Safika safita in. And just like any organization of you join, be it work or social clubs or anything, there's a honeymoon phase. And the honeymoon phase will trickle out eventually. And then you're going to get to the stage because from the outside, it looked like everyone is united. Yile nto ufuna uba part of yona because umntu ungena enalo nqano likaYesu Kristu, enalo nqano lotshintsha, ezama utshintsha ubomi bakhe, ezama utshintsha indlela, and then you join. And then you discover ke ngokuba in actual fact, no one is what, it's not like what it seems. Ndingathi these still waters run deeper than what you thought. To be brief, there's a lot of factors as because I was with Guild from 2013 and I just left 2014 late okanye ngathi 2015, which means ixesha lam eGuildini belingelininzanga, which should speak volume for itself. The fact that I didn't even stay longer than 2 years or a year, there's a lot of factors, but one that comes to mind that maybe other people will think ba isuke yafeketha udade uMajavu noko bengenoda ayekele loo nto, but it's for me it was a big deal. Just like in any relationship or anything, umntu une-deal breaker yakhe. This was a deal breaker. For me, it's how, I don't want to say ndifuna uzifaka nam, how we lack respect for le nto siyijoyinileyo. Ngohlobo lokuba when I learned about uJohn Wesley, wayiqalela ntoni okanye wayiqala under what circumstances le nkonzo, and then the aims and objectives of Wesley Guild, they go hand in hand. And I thought into yokokubana okay, singabantu ekugqibeleni sizoba neendlela zethu esenza izinto ngazo, singabantu sine-different personalities zethu, sisuka kwiindawo ngeendawo, but kule ndawo sikuyo, which is enkonzweni, sonke size ngento enye apha, sonke sinale area sigula kuyo, sizofuna uncedwa kuyo. And my understanding was ba mna njengoba ndinesisam isigulo, ndihlele ecambi komuntu patient ezele yayo into, mandihoye i-medication yam, but if lo ndiyambona uba eyi unayo indawo adifaulthe kuyo, it's not my duty uhlekisa ngaloo nto. I must be my sister's keeper or my brother's keeper, not the very same person who's going to expose weakness yalo mntu, trying to hide my own weakness. An event that highlighted or that just put an end for me was the day I actually left Wesley Guild. Ndandineplan ngalaa mini, and I wasn't going to go, but then somewhere along the line ndaqomba mandiye man, and nalapho umoya wam wayesesithi sukuya, but ndaqomba let me just go because sendikhomithile, ndizawuba unfair xa ndizawuthi andizokwazi ukuza kule plan. Ndaye eplanini. Because singabantu ke, like I said before, sine-relations zethu, we form friendships as Guildini and other things apha eGuildini or wherever you go, apho socialize nabantu. There was a bit of a tussle, or ndingathi a bit of a ukungavisisani ncam in a particular circle that I was part of. And on this particular day, yigame yam uShumayela. Now, being an adult, because noko I think xa singenile eGuildini asina 13 na 14, noko si-matured xa ndicinga. I thought into yokokubana okay, ndizawufika ndishumayele what I've prepared, ndicele noThixo ke kuthethe yena athi take over andikhuphe mna, ndingababona abantu as who they are and just see ii-vessels kabawo ezilindele uva iindaba zakhe. I was so shocked that ndizawuthi ndimile phaa ndifumanise uba aba bahleli apha ndizobanika esi sifundo sanamhlanje are not concentrating. Ugqithwana ngeefowuni, you can feel i-vibe into yokokuba kulo mgqithwana wefowuni kuthethwa ngawe, because omnye umuntu akakwazi uhleba mos uzothi uthethwe wena abe ajonga apha ku okanye ajonge utshomi yakhe okanye ajonge ubani kube kuhlekwa kusithwane. As a result, zange ndigqibe nesemon yam ngala mini. I just left. I just closed my Bible and I walked out. And for me, the reason why that cut deep is because izinto zakwamoya, izinto zakwaThixo, I take them very seriously and izithathe lightly. It doesn't matter noba umuntu angandipainta ngeyiphi na ibrush athi wena wenza le ut, but when it comes to God and the things of God and the things zakwamoya, I take them seriously. I don't care bangubani ome pulpitini. I don't care noba laa muntu ebendithuke estratweni, but the fact that eme phaa, I must respect that. I'm not respecting them or whatever, and I'm not disrespecting them either, but I'm respecting the work. I'm respecting lo muntu umthumileyo uba makame phayana. I felt like, hey, is this really, did joine the right thing? Did joine abantu right? When it comes to time and move on to other departments, what am I going to take from this? This could have easily killed the confidence yam uba bendingomnye umntu, indenze ndingaze ndikwazi tu uma phambi kwabantu nakweyiphi na i-platform, because inkonzo is supposed to be your safe place. Inkonzo is supposed to be the place where you can run to and ukwazi uzibhenca tanci nakubani na without feeling judged. Inkonzo is supposed to be that place where you find brothers and sisters that will say, hayi jonga, noba I haven't gone through lento that you're going through, nam ndinowam umnqamlezo kodwa izasiphathisane. Not indawo where people are going to throw stones at you already. You already have many stones thrown at you ngaphandle. Now, eyona nto yahighlightheka kum is that my topic of the day on that day, theme yam yayisithi, we've lost Jesus in the crowd. And ndandingazikhethanga, nam ndaziqonda uba I've lost Jesus in the crowd. Ndandifunda kulaa ncwadi kaLuka, when uMary noJoseph baphulukana nomntana beye kwi-festive ye-Passover. Nam ndizifaka in everybody's shoes ndisithi, I think maybe the festivities esifikele kuzo egildini oba bumnandi sifikele kubo made us lose focus. And zange ndizikhethe. I was surprised into yokokuba actually le nto ndiyishumayelayo, it's playing out right in front of me. And kum ndayithatha as a sign yokuba no, but you know, badala abantu. This is sort of ibullism ethile. This is sort of actually it is ibullism ethile leyana yokokuba umubani apha ngizophatha i-red pen because I don't like her. Umbuzo wami ngubani for uba ungathanda umuntu wena, udala umuntu wena le nto ungazothanda lo muntu uthunywe nguThixo ume phambi kwakho. For me, that killed it. And I think ndahlala into phaa konyaka ndisithi I regret the day endaqala phaa egildini kuyo, because that almost killed my understanding of what Christians are like. It almost killed into yokokuba abantu abathi bangabaKrestu ngabantu abanjani, because mna bendizisukela ebumnandini, ndizisukela nje kubomi bakozihlalela neetshomi zakho nigruve nithini, you meet strangers kwigroove, nokokuba you'd fall flat on your face, they will pick you up bathi hlala apha bakusule bakuthini, but wow, fall flat on your face enkonzweni. They will step on you, abanye will laugh at you, abanye will take a little bit of pictures, bathi jonga utheni uyambona utheni. So that killed it. That almost dented a relationship yam with God, because I just become matured enough spiritually. I just put everything in one box. You know what? In fact, enkonzweni grand, because phayana kunje uxabana nomntu ngento zenu phaa ngaphandle azisapha ecaweni, unga-understand uba zidibana njani. So what was you supposed to do? Uyi-attende laa nto ume phaa, then kuzothwani ngawo. So for me, that's what killed me, because it killed my spiritual life. It almost killed the confidence of standing in front of people and giving any presentation, but it definitely killed definitely killed my spiritual life, because like I said, when I can ahlala unyaka kunqu and ndaphinda ndabuyela enkonzweni, but with that same scar, esasilonda ndingazikhange ndisiphulule, which made it even easy ke ngokuba when other things happened endingazozimenshina apha, because njengakulo mgaqo besiwubekile, it's hard to talk about ezinye izinto because people will banizosinderela phandle apha, and ngoku asifuni unyathela iinkonzo zabantu xa sibalisa izitori zethu. It made it easy for other factors ke ngoku kuthi kwakwenzakale ndiqonda oh nabo baqalile banje. So for me, that's what killed it for me, basically. That's what killed it, the bullyism. There's a lot of bullying, and a lot of bullying amongst females, Tinasisi females, up in a female-dominated church, in a female-dominated movement. Ibe sithi thina's females ezibulalana confidence that give ke ngoku abantu abangobhuti the right, or ndingathi the leeway or the passageway to just treat us however they feel like. I think mandiyibamba apho mandivuvuti beka yabo.
Thank you so much, Sisi, for sharing story sakho nathi, and I'm sorry for what you went through. Zandleni zethu. I will also include myself because I was once a member of the Wesley Guild, and probably still am at heart. I'm truly sorry about that. However, we will be making more comments and also reading from the section there to Paku Facebook, the comments about and questions if they might have. So because of it, and then we also have just a few words before Sivale because I've been in so ndizawucela uSisi Lona athathe indawo yakhe.
Hi V, mandizibulisele nam ngegama likaYesu Kristu ongumfeli wam. Sisifu wena V, ndijoyine iWesley Guild ngo-2015 nge-6 kaSeptemba. Ndinxitywa ngumfundisi uMatthews. Yayimnandi laa nkonzo wena Vuyo, andizuphosisa uziqonde ininzi enye yezinto ezathethwa ngumfundisi uMatthews ngalamini iimoto zawayezithetha phaa ndisazisebenzisa namhlanje. Umzekelo mhlawumbi noba kukho umntu mhlawumbi ondiphazamisileyo, mhlawumbi ndiyamva indlela athetha ngayo nam uba mhlawumbi kufanele ndiphendule ndivele ndithi kwathiwa ke kum ecaweni ungabe uphendula yonke into le. Kum Sisifi icawe ndiyithatha as i-perfect family. Icawe ndiyithatha as a place of growth and positive impact. Icawe ndiyithatha as irreliable safe space to rest in. Icawe ndiyihloniphile kakhulu. Kube mnandi ke yonke le minyaka andizuphosisa 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 ndifike ndilithi nditha ecawe ndingakwazi nokuma phambi kwabantu, but yandikhulisa iWesley Guild. Ndimke ndingakoyiki ukuthetha ngoThixo, ndiphume ecaweni ndingakoyiki ukuma phambi kwabantu, but yonke le nto izoqala that ndiba executive as children's ministry superintendent, and kulapho yaqala khona inkathazo. Phayana zininzi izinto ezindikhubileyo, but eyona yona yile yokokubana I still remember futhi uba kwakunini, it was around elaa xesha le-COVID-19. Zininzi mos izinto ezazehlela abantu kwelaa xesha le-COVID-19, but kuba besivalelekile singakhonzi singathini. Plus ke ngoku ndabe mna ndimuvile from eCofimvaba ndiyophangela kwenye indawo. So yaqala apho kwi-event yokuqala ndingakhange ndiyi-attende, but akwabikho nto. But ndiyaqhubeleka manithethisa le nto yam yongabikho kule event.
ndade ndadicide into yokubana imani now that ndiphangela kude and ii-Saturdays ezicaba siyalantuka siba nee-events i-weekend yonke, amaxesha amaninzi andizukwazi ukuba khona mna. Ndafila like ndizobahlupha mos abantu because ii-Saturdays ezininzi ndizawube ndingekho mna nee-Fridays xa kuqala i-event, meaning ndizofika Saturday sekupha late. Ndaqonda hayi ingene kabuhlungu indlela ebekuthethwa ngayo ngam, and I felt like ndizobaphazamisa abantu ndibasebenzise kabuhlungu. Ndabhala i-resignation letter ndayi-imeyila, but kwaye kwacaba ke ayifikanga kamnandi kubo. Bandicenga hayi mantombi suresigna, hlala sizawusebenzisana. But ekuhlaleni apho ngeli xesha le-COVID-19 ndimane ndifumana ii-phone calls zabantu, ndingumntu othethayo mos mna nabantu and andingomntu une-secrets kakhulu. Noba sendinengxaki nje okanye ntoni ndiyafike ndiyishere ecaweni mna kuhlekwe kube mnandi. So aba bantu bayanibalisela ke izinto zabo. Ndibe ne-idea yobana how about guys sicreateni i-WhatsApp group yee-members ze-Wesley Guild zonke, ungangxola amahle, whereby sizawuqhubani khona ezi nkonzo kuplanwa WhatsApp yonke le nto WhatsApp, so that naba baneengxaki bazokwazi ukufumana imithandazo neengcebiso neentoni, because ngoku wonke umntu uvaleleke ekoneni yakhe asayifumani laa mithandazo eza-worships ezantoni. Ndiyibhalele laa ntuka yam, le idea yam egrupini executive uba guys ndinale idea ngenxa yezi zizathu zoba abantu bayafowuna. Ewe ke bebecela iingcebiso kum, but I felt like ngaske icawe ingami ngenxa ye-COVID-19 and ingabi ngathi abantu sibalahlile. I was surprised into yoba wabamnye umntu owavuma into yobana lo mbono umhle, kwavele kwathuleka, kwahlaleka ndaphindwa okwesibini because mna ndipressurizwa zii-phone calls zabantu. Ndiphinde ke nyhani ndiyikhumbuze le nto egrupini, guys ingasincedisa le nto nantoba nathi ze singawi olukholweni. Kwathuleka wazothi oyi-one phaa kuthi kwi-executive uhleleleke umane esithi kum apha ecaleni, Sister Qwaka qhubeka uyithethe le nto lena because nyhani izawusincedisa. Ndiqonde ke mna ke hayi noko sendanele ngoku because oko kwakuphendulwe kayi-one. Fine, wadicayida ukuyithetha ngokwakhe lo mbono wam awuthethe usuka kuye. Yeyi zange kube lixesha elidala abantu bathi mhle lo mbono banibani, mhle lo mbono banibani. So I felt like andingomntu mhlawumbi ofanele uba aze nee-ideas okanye ii-ideas ezisuka mhlawumbi kum azibalulekanga kangako. Laa nto yandenza ndiqonde inoba ke ngoku xa ndifika ndiyokhonza naba bantu ndizofika ndibe njani. Ndaba disappointed kakhulu to a point yoba ndavele ndaqonda uba andizazi uba ndizoreaktha njani xa ndifika phayana. Umzekelo ndathetha nomnye phaa kubo egrupini uba hayi andiyithandanga indlela ekwenziwe ngayo, but laa nto ithi umzekelo kho laa nto wena Vuyo ibidla ngothethwa xa kukhona iindibano ze-Wesley Guild yoba i-children's ministry kwiinto ezininzi iyasilela because kwi-executive uba mnye umntu omele i-children's ministry, then nezi ideas zakho ze-children's ministry aba be-Wesley Guild amaxesha amaninzi abadli ngozithathela ngqalelo ezaa nto. Uba ku-one man jive wedwa xa uthetha ngento edibene ne-children's ministry, abanye abantu ba-out. So ndavele ndaba disappointed kakhulu, ndadicide ukuphuma ecaweni ndiyozihlalela because andikeva azange ndive kamnandi ngelaa xesha. Zibe zikhona ke nezinye kuqhubeleka wethu kuthethwa kusithwani, ulona walinyoronyoro, ulona wathini. So mna eyona nto yandikhuphayo kwi-Wesley Guild into okokubana andifili kamnandi uba xa ndizothi ndithetha into ingamanyelwa. The very same thing xa ithethwa ngomnye umntu kuyakwazeka into yoba imanyelwe futhi yenziwe. Nalaa nto ndayiqaphela into okokubana akahlonipheki umntu okhokhele i-children's ministry because iye yaqhubeleka ke le nkonzo yethu kuWhatsApp. then kufanele into yoba bayaplanwa abantu bezii-guilders then kuzofuna umntana we-children's ministry, only to find out ke ngoku besingekho kwi-COVID-19 xa abantu let me say oo-conveners befuna uplana abantwana bekwazi ukontaktha u-children's ministry practitioner bakasikhangelele umntana, ngoku bayazikhangelela bazothi besongamfumani umntwana kube ngona babuya kuwe futhi umntu abuye honest kuwe into yoba Ntsumpa undiphoxile umntwana ebendimfumene ngawundikhangelise umntwana. Uziqonde ndade ndatsho kom into yoba ndathi kanti ngakusebenzela into yoba ungaphinda uqhubeke uzikhangelelele futhi le ndlela nenza ngayo indenzela lula because andinalo kakhulu ngoku ixesha lokuhlala efowunini. So mna in all eyona nto yandikhupha ecaweni yilaa nto leyana because I felt like andina-confidence yoba ndizophinde ndikwazi ukuzisa ii-ideas or ndime ndithethe as umntu okhokhele i-children's ministry. Yiloo nto leyo ke Viku. Enkosi.
Enkosi kakhulu. Thank you for sharing ibali lakho kunye nathi. Ndizawucela ngoku sinikele ku-Sister Kambahi. Over to you, Kamf.
Thank you, Vuyo. Mandizibulisele kumntu wonke omameleyo ngobo busuku. You know, Vuyo, I never thought, I was talking to my friend yesterday, esithi bana, I never thought mhlambi ungathi ngabantu okanye zizinto ezenzeke ecaweni ezikwenza uba ungasafuni ukuze ecaweni. But I thought mhlambi you feel like ba hayi wethu siyabhanqa phaya laa nto ye-COVID that we've been saying ba COVID made us realize that we don't need to go to the building ukuze sifumane ufefe likaThixo. But ngathi kuye, you know, if ungowalapha eMonti, you know there's a place called Ebucks. Ebucks, we all complain about i-ribs zaphaya. But ayithi loo nto leyo Vuyo asiye eBucks ngenxa yeza ribs. Siya eBucks si-order ezinye izinto siziyeke ribs. So what is it then wrong ngokuya ecaweni? Uyayiva xa kanti akukho nto ngaphakathi ecaweni that made me feel ehlobo ndifilisha ngalo ngecawe. What happened Vuyo? I joined, okay, ndingabantwana mos mna bakhulele ecaweni, ne abantwana bathi icawe yi-maternity ward. Ndikhulele ecaweni, umakhulu wam was in leadership ku-trust and finance, ne? So I would go to church okokoko. And then I got confirmed in 2011, and then joined the movement in 2012. I was very young at that time, very, very young. But I'm still young. So at that time, Kengoku, sasikwenye second, ne? And then kule second year too, we had sections at that time. So ku section kengonganye, it had leadership, ne? And fortunately or unfortunately for me, I was, okay, no problem. Fortunately for me, I was elected as the secretary of the section for Wesley Guild. No problem. We were working hand in hand with the executive and with a minister in charge of us. Hey, okay. So in meetings, we would, class in meetings, in general meeting, we would like sit and then next to each other, and then even vice on the other hand. Hey, before even the meeting set up scenario, but he would call late night, a phone, and at that time I would be surprised by what's going on. A phone and ask a stupid question about isn't there's a guild, isn't there's a movement, and then pass some comments where Tuba, you're beautiful and all of that. Fine. Like that, I was very stupid at the time. And it went on and on and on. And then he finally said, he has feelings for me and so on and so forth. So I'm like, but you're old enough to be my dad, so I don't think it won't take us anywhere. Fine, he didn't stop. Then came the scenario I was talking about in meetings where we would sit and as njengoba ndinxibe my skirt, my uniform, brushing up like kwithanga and all, yabo. Yeah, okay, makes me comfortable in the ndiphakame ndizolise and then come back and it continued. Yeah. So then I started expressing this. Omnye umfundisi who was also in the circuit, but not with section yethu, yabo. Yena, he is married to my aunt. Fine. So I expressed this to him, yabo. But actually he would try to talk to him as colleagues. Ne? Fine. Then he called him, whatever. This guy calls again, Kengoku. I'm sorry to say I will call him this guy because I lost respect for him. Ne? This guy calls and says he just received a call from his colleague, because I expressed how I feel about what he does and so on and so forth. Ne? He like, yes. And then he starts arguing that I should have told him about it. I respect you, so I was disappointed in what you did, and the things that you keep on doing. So I was thinking, anyway, I'm not sorry about that because I had told you about my feelings, and I was just trying to show you that I'm serious about this. Fine. Then I finally told my grand. My grand told Amagosa, and it was more of a case. Ne? But there was Omutata Esegatin who was a section who has a security company. So he was more like investigating Yonke Lento for him, recording calls, recording texts and all of that. Yabo. So he displayed this case of mine. Ku CQM, ne? Not ku CQM. Kunyanga. It was Nyang, no, CQM Nyanga that in yeah. So all departments were there. Then Bishop was there because Bishop was from our circuit at that time. Ne? Bishop was there. And Befundis Bonk of the circuit were there. So he presented this to him, made them listen to the recordings, the texts, and so on. Ne? So okay, it was first Amagosa told me that the calls and all, we can't really stand for you or by you guys, or because they did not happen inside the church building. Yeah, and now we can really talk about something that happened inside. Yeah, if like is those that you brushed you during the meetings, that's what we can talk upon. But again, we don't have proof because you never videoized it or took pictures, or there's no one who can stand and say they saw land. Yeah, meantime, there was no one in the executive who was asked to attest to land on the Tetai. Fine. So there was that case, and then we called to a mission, and Bishop, the guy is not there. The guy was sick and he was in hospital. The guy is not there. Bishop called us, Saza, and he was apologizing on behalf of this guy. He apologized, but the guy is apologizing. In fact, he said that the guy is apologizing, but the guy was not there. He's apologizing for this and it will never happen again. And what the church did, took the guy and moved him to another district. Yasheka get injured. Fine. And I didn't think, at that time, I didn't think that it ruined me, it wounded me or whatever. But I just had so much hate towards him. And I felt like there was no justice that was served for me. But ke uThixo wanceda wamthatha umuntu wakhe wambizela kwelakhe izulu. And the day when I heard the news that the guy passed away, I felt like at least, no, go, this is a way of justice. But I felt the church failed me in a way. Ne? The second story that sealed everything, that still seals everything. In fact, it's not the second story, but because of it, I think this is the most important one that I want to share. More similar story. Just after 2019, yeah, kokubekwe senze a commotion kakhulu about young girls being raped and all. Lando, when you're being perpetrated, it comes back. I was molested again by a guy who was in the executive year district, a guy who most people would trust, a guy who ababhuti bathembekileyo, ababhuti baziwayo, ababhuti bathandwa ngumntu wonke, ne? And because now I was told that into if ayenzekanga ecaweni ngaphakathi, then it's more or less nothing. I then realized that iyandihonta le nto, ne? And it's making it very difficult for me to move and for me to actually be free. Ne? So I had so many support care from banyosisi balapha ecaweni, counselors and all. I opened a case, but fortunately or unfortunately for me, ndayivula sekukudala a case. I opened a case, got people who know about this, but ke ngoku kulaa nto yoba mos kuthiwa xa sibhala ngabantu kuthiwe Facebook is not a place for you to write about your victims. Don't your perpetrators, go open a case. Don't. Ne? Now the people who know about this weren't available to answer, and the people kabasecawe. So when I indilimaze kakhulu ngecawe, to a point where ndiba bored and ndisecawe, ndiba bored because I don't understand. I no longer understand, but why, like why benje abantu balapha, yabo? But ke as ixesha lihamba, yona healing izoba khona. Oh, okay. Inkosi.
Thank you very much, Kambasho, for sharing your story. I'm truly sorry for what you went through. And also I do see on our Facebook there are a bit of 1 or 2 or 3 complaints with regards to language barrier. We apologize for that. And we will also ask the following speakers to make sure they speak more English so that everyone is able to understand their stories. I will then now hand over to Sis Bongi to take the platform. Thank you. Hi, Sis Bongi.
Hi V.
How are you, Sisi?
Hi Sisi, ndiyaphila Nkosi unjani?
No, I'm good. Okay, I will now give you the platform so that you can share your story with us tonight.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And then we'll take emalanga ngegama likaYesu Kristu Nkosi yethu, amen. I'm not sure mandiqalephi, but I think mandizama ukungabi mde nokuxabana sele bezithethile izinto ezininzi. Mna Vuyo ndingene kwi-Wesley Guild, ngoyine i-Wesley Guild ndise-Durban. So ndanxitywa ngo-2005 ngumfundisi uMdolo, ndandiseDurban ngelo xesha. So after I joined i-Guild, kwafuneka into mandibuye ndize kwelinye icala ndisuka apho ndandihlala khona eDurban. So nyhani I moved, ndaqhubeleka kwabamnandi. Ibiyindawo endingathi apho umuntu akwazi bakhululeke, afilishe uba usekhaya. Kulapho besonwaba khona sisenza yonke into sonke. So ndiye ndahlala ke enkonzweni lonke eli xesha, and then there was my older sister, and then yena ujoyine ngo-2007. And then ukujoyina kwakho ngo-2007 kwamnandi ke sihamba sonke i-guild, sicebisana, sithetha, ndivizithe nokuvizitha kwisikolo owaye kuso yena. Ndifike kube mnandi enkonzweni, sisherishe izinto ezininzi. 2013, I got married, and then I went to church. Most people at my church witnessed my marriage. It was in 2013. Then on 2014, my sister got sick, and then I had to move up and down, trying to take her to the hospitals and also to see a specialist and some doctors in KZN. And then I realized, I think it was where I asked my mom if usisi wami usaya enkonzweni, ecaweni kuyaziwa that she's been sick, and then i-guilders zikhe zeza na. So uthe yena, when she comes back from school, she joined Intombi Zomanyana. And then I asked her about these two, into yokuba bakhona nabantu abakhe beza kuye. So ndafumaniseka uba no, there were no visits from church. So before I got married in 2013, I was on executive of the Wesley Guild. And then I had to move to another town, and then I joined another circuit. And then when I came back home, I was told that no one visited. And then I tried to contact other people just to know why they didn't visit and just to check if they were aware that she was sick. Andizange ndifumane impendulo eyiyo ncam. To my surprise was that the society she was in, that society was built, sihleli kukhona society esasihleli thina siyam. So my sister will cook for abantu abayakhaya society, she will do everything. And then my question was that if you can't see the person with you or the person you were with back then, why can't you call the person and check up on her? Then if you didn't get any reports, because she was staying at home with my mother, I was no longer with them. But then nevertheless, why there were no visits. But I explained to them that she's seriously ill, and then we've been in different hospitals, and even now she's been admitted. And then they told me that they will visit, but no one visited. Until February 2014, kwakukhona ingqungquthela, I still remember khona ingqungquthela yentombi, and then kwaphathiswa imali yetikiti zakhe for into kokubana kubhatalwe itikiti zakhe, because andisahlali ekhaya mna, so andikwazi ukubona uba ubani wenzani and all that. To my surprise, umntu owayeziphathisiwe imali zetikiti, the day esengqungqutheleni ezayidlulisa imali yakhe yetikiti kunye nemali yengqungquthela, as the day my sister passed on. And then I'm not sure whether it was one of my family members or who, owawakwazi into yoba makabaxelele into yokokubana isister yam uswelekile. The person told us, but she's been told uba mangabi sayidlulisa imali, because itikiti zakhe akazibhatalanga, there's nothing that is going to be done by the church. So nanga understand ba umntu usweleke namhlanje, imali biphethwe namhlanje, and ngexesha begula, no one visited, no one bothered to even ask why she was not around with them. So I went to church, I met with umkhokheli wakhe, I met with imanyano bezijoyinile because wayegilda eyintombi, but ixesha elininzi besoloko eba kwiintombi zomanyano engabikho kwi-guild. So zange kude sikhe kukwazeka into kokubana icawe mayisisapote, zange ikwazi ndisisapote icawe. Instead ndafumana amagama into kokuba anizungcwatyelwa, your sister was not paying at church, so because of that nantsi imali yabuyiswa imali back ekhaya sele isenkonzweni. So I just thought, no, ibuhlungu le nto. But then at home they were asking, yintoni leni ihambayo? Because kudala nayihamba le cawe, and I was the first person ukunxitywa umanyano ekhaya ndihamba inkonzo and all that. So you can imagine, you need to make them understand that if you are not paying itikiti zakho, kuthiwa kuzokwenzeka ABCD, and they didn't understand at all. My mother was crying non-stop as a result. some people at the funeral, they were wearing their uniforms because they knew her and they knew everything about her. And then that's when we had problems at home because and all that. I ended up even going to see Reverend Ewayo back then. And then was among but he was told guilt. And then if but unfortunately, umuntu ongumkhokheli wakhe watsho into okokubana icawa izoxhoma bhayikhi ayizumngcwaba naye wasweleka, may his soul rest in peace. So after that, when I've been ndaqonda okokubana ndiphelelwe lithemba because ngabantu bendihlala nabo before ndimove to another town. Ingabi na problems sisebenze kakuhle, and then 2015 I had problems in my marriage. I was physically and emotionally abused by my partner, to an extent that I gave birth to my firstborn before time. And then after that, I decided that I will not speak about what I'm going through. Instead, I will just pray. So I used to go to church. The circuit that I was in, they used to pray with me. I still remember there's this guy that used to support me a lot at church. Actually, he's not this guy. He's an elder. So he used to support me, and I used to tell him that I need prayers. I'm going through this and that. So I joined a church choir. I joined like izinto ezininzi ecaweni, izinto ezondenza uba mandibe busy, ndilibale izinto ezenzekayo endlini. And then after that, yonke loo nto yenzekayo, I decided in 2015 ekupheleni konyaka that I need to go back home because I was not chased away. And then I came back. So I used to visit to my circuit, my older circuit. And then I used to tell them at the one that I was in that weekends, I'm not going to be around, I'll be in my town. So they understood. And then 2016, I decided that no, I will file for divorce. That's when it all came back, that I allowed this guy to abuse me. I allowed everything that was happening to me, and I blamed myself. That's when I was admitted in a psychiatric clinic. I stayed there for 3 months. When I came back, I went back to my circuit. And then I told them that I am back because I've been going through this and that. To my surprise, I was told that I needed to start afresh because ngoku ndiwile. Ndihambe esekethini yam, ndikhatshwa yinkonzo yam. Xa sele ndibuya ndikhala, izinto zingahambanga kakuhle, kuthiwa mandihlale phantsi ndibekelwa bucala. So kulapho ke ndaqonda into okokubana I don't think the God that I've been serving can allow this to happen to me. But then I had to understand and accept the situation. Ndahlala ndenza everything that they wanted me to do. And then after that, ndabuyiselwa back ecaweni. And then xa ngaba uthetha at church, wena usitsho into okokubana I am not happy because kwenzeka ABCD, isoloko icinywa loo nto. And as a result, isenza loo nto into okokubana masithi the church wounded us. And yet it's the people inside the church. And after all these things ezenzekayo, uyakwazi ba ume phambi kwabantu. So you'll be labeled ngezinto ezininzi. So after that, I lost interest. But then ndaphinde ndacingana nomoya wam, ndaphinde ecaweni kwangabi khona. But last year again, which is 2021, I had problems. I told umkhokheli wam that I am having problems. So that's why bengandiboni ecaweni. Ndenzela into okokubana at least if ukhona into afuna ukuyazi ayazi, but umkhokheli did nothing about that. Instead, this year, 4 members of the executive of the Wesley Guild visited me, and they wanted to know what happened. And I told them everything. And then some members of the church came to visit, and then they wanted to know kwenzeka ntoni. So at this stage, I am in my house. I am doing nothing. I am visiting other churches. But then at least now, there are people abakwazi into ababuza uba kwenzeka ntoni, and then I will tell them uba kwenzeka ABCD. So kuyo ngalo mzuzu ndingatsho into okokubana uThixo uyasivumela into masingene ezintweni ezibuhlungu, but uyakwazi uba aphinde asikhuphe. I am not saying that ecaweni njengokuba ndihleli ndingasayi, it's been a year now. andizuphinde ecaweni, ndizawuphinda ecaweni bendingayanga mntwini. But izinto ezibuhlungu ezisehlelayo ecaweni zenziwa ngabantu abakufutshane nathi, nabantu ekufanele bayasithanda, nabantu ekufanele bayasisapota. So I just lost interest xa na last year ndizoba any incident, which is the third one. So that was my problem ke ndicela into okokubana mandime imibuzo ekhona. Enkosi.
Thank you so much, Sis Bongi, for sharing your story with us this evening. We are so sorry about your sister, and may her soul continue to rest in peace. I will now give the platform to Miss Yonela Nyembenya. Over to you, sis.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, can you see me? Cool. Hi, sure, guys, you want us to speak English, but I'm gonna try. Dungo says Lalini, so English is Lalini limited, but I'm gonna try my best. So, okay, I was approached by you, Voya, to come and speak today on the topic. So I think with me, if you allow me, it's two things that literally broke me when it comes to church, or that have broken me, rather. So first, so being I've witnessed a lot of things. Would know or would attest to such situations, that in some cases our parents get ill-treated in the circuits. So I've experienced that. There's another circuit that I'm not going to mention. I think that was like for me, that was like the end, that I don't want anything to do with anything that has to do with the leadership in the church, or anything that one day there will be a guy who wants to marry me. I wouldn't go anywhere near that. Is when I saw my father crying because of the things that azenziwa gamachamente to an extent that he did not finish his term on that particular circuit. And I remember I was at school. I was staying away from home because I was a tertiary. So I had came home at that time for holidays, and then that happened. There was that meeting, and then Dada cried. Mdala engake at that age, and I remember I didn't want to go back to school because it was so painful for me to see my father. So for me, that broke me. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay, sis. You can take a minute.
And that broke me. And then that's when I told myself that I don't want anything to do with izinto eziphezulu or eziphambili, when like being on a leadership or on a leadership position, because of witness other things that our parents go through. And then another thing which I experienced myself personally. Okay, so this you'll remember, Vuya, I was in a choir at church. So we would go to practices. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes, in Sakova. Yes.
Okay. So during the week we'd go to practices, and then we go to church on Sunday to Situle. So this other year, go January, when people, it's only like like go-January when office is second, abantu kuleli xesha they are coming back from holiday. So you'd find out others come back on the weekend and then on a Sunday, ngumnqophiso. And sometimes we get busy because of work. You can't make practice, but on Sunday, because it's a weekend, you're gonna go guaranteed to church. So I did not attend the practice on that particular day during the week. And I think it was because of work. So, and then when I got to church, the circuit choir was practicing behind the church. And then I went to the practice. I think I was about 5-10 minutes late. I went to the practice, to the rehearsal. When I got there, the guy who was the vice of the choir, he literally stopped the conductor. He was at the back with all the other guys. He literally stopped the choir singing to go and tell me, because it was directed to me, to go and tell me that a person who was not at the practice on this particular day, can they please leave us? This was just one day that I did not attend the practice. I've been coming to practices, society, circuit, and whatever. I know the hymns that they were singing or they were going to sing at church on that day. He said, the person who was not at church on this day, can they please leave us? I took my bag because I just arrived. I took my bag and I went inside the church. And my mind was telling me at that time to go back home. But I decided to go I left home because I said, I want to attend umnqophiso. I want to be here. I want to ukuzoqala unyaka wami kakuhle with inkonzo yomnqophiso. I went inside the church and I cried from the beginning until the end of the service. I will never forget that day. I mean, many people that were there, like people from my society, people that know me personally, no one said anything, no one did anything about it. And I decided on that day that I am no longer going to be part of the choir. I stopped attending choir practices in my society. If I go to church, I go to church and sit in church like everybody else, but I wouldn't go to the choir. But there were people that were concerned, that were coming to me personally. Would you please come back? And like, you guys are saying I must come back, but the things that I am not happy about, none of them have been addressed. The thing that happened in front of everyone else, no one addressed it. No one spoke about it, but you guys want me to come back. I'm going to tell you, Vuyo, that on the day that I came back came back to the choir, okay, sorry, I was muted. So the day that I came back, Vuyo, came back to the choir, was the Saturday when we were burying your mother. From then, I was not going to anything that has to do with the choir or anything. But on that day, I decided myself, no one is going to tell me to step down, and I've not to step down from the choir. I've not been on practice for a number of months. I've not been participating in a choir for a number of months. But today, I am going, whether he likes it or not. Whether he likes it or not, I am going to be part of the choir. I'm going to do what I like. That's the day I decided, Guti, I'm going to go to church, and there's no one who will stand in my way in doing what I love and doing what I believe in. So with that being said, yes, the church broke me. The people within the church broke me. But I don't think there's anything in this world that will make me stop I will go to church to praise the Lord. I think that's what I go for, not for anybody else. I will still go to church even people don't or are ill-treating me or doing whatever to me. I will still go to church to do what I love, which is to praise God and to basically give glory to him for the things that he continues to do for me. Yeah. So I think with that being said, thank you for the opportunity to come and speak to you today and share my story. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sis Yonela. And I must say that I admire your strength and courage and the resilience to say that nothing's going to take you, but you will continue going to church regardless what it is that you might face or what might be thrown at you. And we thank God that you found the strength after a few months to say that you will go back to a choir and you will go back to church. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to hand over to our last speaker for this evening. Thokoza Gogo Mfelempini. Sizawunikela kuwe sis.
Thokoza gogo. Mandiqale ndibulise to everyone okhoyo, Camagwini, Thokozani, Liseti Khanya. Yazi vuyo nje bandihleli apha. Okay, I'm going to try and speak in English. As I'm sitting here and I'm listening to everybody's stories, ndinovalo nombilini. I'm becoming anxious, if I can put it in the sense of the English word, of what people are going through in the church. It reminds me of when we hold ilanduza ispozo skilled, right? And we say go unite, inspire, love, and develop. And I got to that mindset of when we say go, where are we going? Who are we uniting? Who are we inspiring? Who are we loving? And who are we developing? Because the church is supposed to be a place that is a hospital for us that are wounded by people outside of the church. Now, if we are coming to the church and we are being wounded by the church, where are we supposed to be running to? Now, if the church is going to wound us, what exactly is going to happen? Because I feel like there is this stigma in the church of ukubana, if you are not famous enough or you're not well known enough in your society or your circuit, the church will not support you. I will take you back and I will say that maybe there's a Gilda in your society whose grandmother or mother or father has passed away. And because you are this well-known person, the whole society or the circuit, in fact, at large, will pack their bags and go to your home to bury your loved one. But if you're not well known and your loved one passes away, then you are on your own. Now that is very sad and that is very, it's judgmental. And it causes people to have depression. It causes people to have anxiety. It causes people to doubt actually ukubana ndikhonza lantoni kanye kanye if Icawe is not going to support me because now I am the back end. I am the one that's not known. I am the one that is not even, it's not even a black sheep. I'm just the silent one in the church. So I need to be well known in order for the church to recognize me. Personally, for me, Sis Vuyo, I went through operations personally, in and out each and every year. And nobody in the church took their time to come and find out, actually, you know what happened? What's going on? Are you okay? I've been in and out of the hospital. Nobody bothered. The society that I was in the circuit that I was in when my grandmother passed away in 2018, nobody bothered coming or sending condolences, kwatula, you know. And what eyona nto endicacisayo, or what honestly makes me upset to the highest decimal point, is the fact that we are Black people, and us as Black people, we have spiritual gifts. And when you come to the Methodist church and you are wearing your clothing, and you are seeing me like this, there is this side-eyed look, okay, this cross-examination, because people once saw you wearing a Wesley Guild uniform. Now, here, now, you guys don't even ask, Bana, you know what, Gogo? Actually, what happened? Can you take us through your calling? We want to understand. But the society of the church will look at you and be like, no, we don't want to actually be involved in this. We're going to give you those judgmental eyes up until when you leave this church. Like it feathers, it fathers me to that point of, it bothers me to such an extent that just as Black as we are, we go back home. We go back home, we do rituals. We go and consult to Ogogo, Omna. I've got people in the church that come and consult to me. I've got clients in the church that come and consult to me. But you are able to stand and sing Siyakutumisa unxibe red and white, unxibe blue and white, unxibe amadodana, and you act as if you don't know what you were doing here. Whereas I know that what you were doing, and I told you what's happening. So what are we trying to prove? Is the church trying to make money? And if so, let us know so that we know that actually we're not going to come here anymore. And second of all, is the church not trying to enhance and educate people about our heritage? And it's so unfair that the church is only literally concerned about the heritage when it's Heritage Month. Abantwana be-Wesley Guild bayagula. Simple. It's not going to change. And as much as Sis V, I commented on your status that you made. And I literally said exactly what I thought, and I left it at that. Because those people that I commented, they knew exactly what I was talking about. So we need to ask ourselves as Igildas and Abefundisi as well, when we say go, unite, inspire, love, and develop, are we actually doing that? Or are we doing it according to certain type of people? It's sad what we're going through. It's very sad, and people are so wounded that it causes anxiety, it causes depression. I've got people from church that are on my Facebook. I've been checked into a mental institution twice. I'm diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And people will say I've got a personality disorder because you guys don't see or you don't see abehlekazi for what they are. You don't know what we go through. And the church is not ready to even have a conversation about this. It's very unfair for you. And I want to say thank you for even giving me the opportunity. It is an honor to voice out what we are actually feeling as the people that are not known or not famous enough in the church to be heard. Thokoza ke gogo.
Thokoza Gogo. Thank you so much for forward and joining us in this conversation. Before I think now we're about to end this session, but before that, I tried jotting down some comments. Unfortunately, I couldn't get each and every comment because a lot of people have commented, so I just tried getting a few comments that I will read out. And then just before we close, we're going to ask Umfundisi Umukhomezi, I'm praying that I said it right. He's going to say a few words of encouragement, few words of comforting to everyone, because if we were to be honest, I don't think it's just only these 6 ladies that have experienced, okay, in fact, including myself, that have experienced such bullyism, criticism, a lot has, and what's unfortunate is that there could be, or there are people out there who are saying, I will only go back to church once for as long as they're still in church, I will not come back. There are many of us that are still, including myself, I think I'm taking a break. I'm not sure if it's a break or what, but I think it's just a moment to myself, because I think, because I joined the Wesley Guild in 2008. So from 2008 up until 2022, in fact, 2021, I experienced a lot of hatred, a lot of bullyism, a lot of criticism, judgment and everything. So it was a lot for me. So I decided, I'm sure there are many, and we're hoping that by bringing this topic and in fact engaging on this topic, that if there are others out there who are experiencing such, that who relate to these stories, like in fact, taken from Sister Yonela, she found courage to get up that from what has been shared and what Mfunsi will also say afterwards, that you will be comforted and uzakwazi uphakama nawe. So I will read these comments and then I will hand over to Mfundisi. So Mfundisi, also, okay, when you saying your words, please don't forget me, because I'm also one of the ladies that has been wounded by the church, and unfortunately I am still down. So I've got a comment up by Usis Dini. She says, some would conspire to actually break you down, literally, and bullying is real in leadership. Beko Onduna, who says, I pray that ongoing you address this kind of things to the people who affect you. Once you release your heart and mind out, you release the uncertainty of the situation and open room for clarity. Olifem Kize Oti, I prayed and asked God to move me. 3 months after a serious prayer, Johannesburg opportunity availed, and I found peace in Yakuza Minasisi. Church has broke us worse, Ufela Indo Ongayaz. And then we have a comment by Una Lady. It should be the safest place, but the classism that exists in church kills us. And then we have a comment by Mr. Mtwa, Brother Mtwa. I wish you didn't leave, but address it and confide to some mature members. I am sorry. And then we have a comment by Umanana. Bullying is rife in our churches. That's the truth. A comment by Sister Standwa. Hey, I hear you, Sister Majavu. I pray that we learn from this experience as the church at large. Let's pray for the spiritual healings and of our scars. The last comment is from Umisu Ngonyama. One thing about church now, there is so much politics and it literally affects Inkonzo, which is why I try to ignore or focus on God. And that is impossible. The last time I went to church, I came out empty and my heart is still heavy. Church is supposed to be a safe place. Now I'm going to hand over to Mfundisi and the Amazwi so that we close this topic namhlanje. And then afterwards, we'll just say a few words of thank you to ladies there. Over to you, Mfundisi. Okay, so Ngalum Zuzuke, we are still waiting for Mfundisi. I would love to say a word of thank you to Mfundisi. Is that you? Okay, I would love to dibulele to you ladies for coming forward. Nizo tetanati namhlanje and sharing your stories, and hoping that there were people that as our founder Amanda from your stories, and that they must know that Bana they're not alone. Secondly, it is okay to come forward and address these issues, and hopefully that each and everyone that's listening in today, they will take a moment to reflect on themselves and to see Bana what each and song, in fact, all of us, that will take a moment and ask ourselves, what have we done to contribute towards this? And also, one of the things before I hand over to Mfundisi Mutloti, that for abantu abalandelayo abazawungena ecaweni, what can we do better? Because there was an instant with me whereby each and every class, their own trials, there would be literally a topic about me. Don't get too close to Vuyo. Don't be like Uvuyo. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. So we need to be mindful of the things that we say, especially to Abanda Bafika, to Abanda Bakoyo, and understanding that each and everyone opaya, they're there because they want to be closer to God. They come there for peace. They come there for comfort and to get strength. So I just pray that each and every one of us after today will just take a moment and reflect. Ndizawukunikela kumfundisi uModlodi. Over to you, Mfundisi.
Boy, what do you want me to do?
Okay, so basically, what we want you to do is to debrief. Just a few words of encouragement, a few words.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I thought you asked Mfundisi Dukle to do that. Well, I didn't prepare myself for anything.
I'm so sorry. Yes, we did ask him, but okay, he's nowhere to be found at the moment.
Okay, thank you. I've listened through quite few painful, but not surprising, really. And I'm sure if we can open the space for more people, we will hear a lot of painful stories that may sometimes appear to be trivial to some of us, but in those who are the recipients of this gets affected more. I always warn people not to expect too much from church people. It's unfortunate that we come to church hoping that the church is a place that will build us, but it is the church that killed Jesus Christ. And this is one thing that you forget, that Jesus Christ was not killed by criminals. He was killed by high people in church, in the synagogue. The Sanhedrin was the highest decision-making body. The Pharisees were religious people. The Sadducees were the legal people of the church. Jesus was never killed by criminals outside of the church. So if they killed Jesus, the physical Jesus, why would they not kill the spiritual Jesus? So it's one thing to expect. I think we must just accept that when Jesus said in John chapter 16, I came that they may have have life and have it in abundance, that Jesus came so that he so loved the world, not the church. For God so loved the world that he gave the world his only begotten Son. God did not love the church. God loved the world. And maybe our peace and strength is not in the institutional church, but in the priestly church. That is the church that is in the world. That love should be expressed to a stranger. Love should be given to those who are on the streets. And maybe we'll have more peace. But this organized religion, it's a power system. This organized religion, it's about favoritism and all that. I wish you guys the strength, and please don't leave God. You can leave the church, but don't leave God. Strength to all of you, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Mfundisi. Mama Lynn.
This is about all.
Mama Lindy. Thank you so much, Mfundisi, for your words. Sabulela kakhulu, and once again, thank you everyone for joining us namhlanje. Xa sizawuvala ndizawucela wethu Brother Vumani to just say ngento umthandazo wokuvala, and then we close i-topic yethu namhlanje.
Masivalana amehlo sithandaze. Thixo wethu, Thixo wabazali bethu, Thixo wokhokho bethu, siyabulela malusi olungileyo. Ebusuku nje wena Thixo wethu xa abantwana bakho malusi olungileyo bevumile malusi olungileyo ukuba bazongena kule platform malusi olungileyo and speak up malusi olungileyo. ngezinto that we go through on a daily basis. Thixo wethu ezinkonzweni, indawo that is supposed to be a safe haven for us, malusulungileyo, has turned to indawo apho malusulungileyo siphuma khona singxelekile, Thixo wethu. Kodwa wena malusulungileyo sisahlala sikubulela into yoba ngaba usenguThixo. Through it all, wena malusulungileyo usabonakala wena Thixo wethu uphuma ngaphambili. Udumo lwakho siluphakamisa wena malusulungileyo, ngoba nguThixo nenceba engazange iphele wena Thixo wethu. Sithandazela malusulungileyo imiphefumlo malusulungileyo yabo bonke malusulungileyo abantu malusulungileyo nabangenileyo apha malusulungileyo kule call, nabangakhange bayifumane i-opportunity malusulungileyo yokuthi voice out iimbilini zabo malusulungileyo kule topic malusulungileyo. Sithandazela wena Thixo wethu ukuba ubaphathe wena malusulungileyo ngesandla sakho wena Thixo wethu, and heal them wena Thixo wethu from whatever it is malusulungileyo abathe bathi go through yona malusulungileyo ecaweni malusulungileyo. Sithandaza wena malusulungileyo isandla sakho wena Thixo wethu ukuthi ubapholise malusulungileyo through whatever that they are going through wena malusulungileyo, ngoba kaloku wena Thixo wethu uthe ezwini lakho wena Thixo wethu isandla sakho wena Thixo wethu asikudanga wena malusulungileyo ukuba singasindisi wena Thixo wethu. Siyakuthandaza wena Thixo wethu, sukubonga wena malusulungileyo, sikuthembile wena Thixo wethu ukuba wena malusulungileyo ezwini lakho wasithembisa wena Thixo wethu, wathi sinako ukwenza konke kulowo nguYesu Kristu somelezayo wena malusulungileyo. Yiyo le nto xa sisithi go through as trials and tribulations wena Thixo wethu, singakwazi malusulungileyo ukungadluli malusulungileyo kuwe wena Thixo wethu, ngoba kaloku wena malusulungileyo uthi wena Thixo wethu ezwini lakho wena Thixo wethu masize kuwe malusulungileyo thina esisindwayo yimithwalo wena malusulungileyo, wena uyakusipha ukuphumla wena malusulungileyo. Yiyo loo nto ke nangolo mzuzu wena Thixo wethu ndishukumisa umqukumbelo wengubo yakho wena malusulungileyo, ndisithi wena Thixo wethu naba abantwana bakho wena Thixo wethu beziphosa phambi kwakho wena Thixo wethu. Pholisa ke wena Thixo wethu loo manxeba njengoThixo wena Thixo wethu, ngena malusulungileyo kwezo ntliziyo wena Thixo wethu njengoThixo wena Thixo wethu, ubuyisele wena Thixo wethu ezintliziyweni zabo wena malusulungileyo, ukuthi noba wena malusulungileyo izinto zasemhlabeni zingenzeka wena Thixo wethu, kodwa wena malusulungileyo usenguThixo wena Thixo wethu. Upha malusulungileyo ebantwini malusulungileyo ezinkonzweni malusulungileyo ububona wena Thixo wethu, ufake inhliziyo zikamoya wena Thixo wethu. Khupha malusulungileyo ezinkonzweni zethu wena malusulungileyo abantu abakhonza malusulungileyo ngenyama Thixo wethu, bangakhonzi ngomoya wena Thixo wethu, ngoba sithi sawukhonza malusulungileyo ngenyama wena Thixo wethu kuvele thina wena malusulungileyo, kungaveli wena malusulungileyo. Yiyo le nto Thixo wethu sikwazi malusulungileyo ukuthi xa sikhonza wena Thixo wethu kubonakale wena Thixo wethu ukuba singcwele abanye abantwana wena malusulungileyo, ngoba sikhonzi in spirit wena Thixo wethu ezinkonzweni zethu wena Thixo wethu. Buyisela loo moya wena Thixo wethu ezinkonzweni wena malusulungileyo. Buyisela umoya we-unity wena malusulungileyo ezinkonzweni malusulungileyo. Buyisela umoya malusulungileyo ezinkonzweni wokuthi malusulungileyo singakhethi ubani wena malusulungileyo uba ubane nezinto Thixo wethu, sibone uba ubane nezinto ubhetere kunomnye wena malusulungileyo, kuba kulapho malusulungileyo sicalucalulana khona wena Thixo wethu, singxwelerhane ezinkonzweni wena Thixo wethu. Kodwa wena njengoThixo siyakuthandaza wena Thixo wethu, ubuyisele isidima sakhe ezinkonzweni wena Thixo wethu, sikukhonze ngenyaniso wena Thixo wethu. Fikelela ke malusulungileyo nalapho ndingafikelanga khona malusulungileyo, utatshe wena malusulungileyo nezo ntliziyo malusulungileyo ezithe zamamela namhlanje wena Thixo wethu. Sikuthandaza oku, sikucela uba siyakwazi uba uyasenzela ngoku ngoYesu Kristu Nkosi yethu, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Brother Vumani. Siyabulela kakhulu ke bethuna to everyone that tuned in. Nabantu abakhomentileyo, thank you very much. We've come to the end of our session for namhlanje. Thank you so much. Thank you again, ladies. Thank you, Mfundisi, and thank you, Brother Vumani. That's it from me and everyone. Good night.